Yes, it's that time again for your Monday's dose of Inside Eve.
Like it's a drug, eh?
It is a drug. Yes, you're welcome to the show. It is always a privilege to have you on the show. Inside Eve, as far as I'm concerned, is the best show on TV that deals with women's issues. We know how to trash out these women's issues. We just lay it down like on the table and trash it. Me and my co-host. My name is Fome, and with me tonight, of course, you guys know I can't do this alone. I can't take all the shine. With me tonight is someone I've come to know as, not just as a co-host, but as a friend, as a sister from another mother. Come on, Derin, you don't fall my hand.
No, I dare not. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show. Yay.
Is that all?
Welcome to the show. My name is Derin. So life it's my rewind. I'm not doing that tonight.
Scrap that. Nice one, Derin. How's your weekend?
I still miss Bubu though.
Oh yes.
I love you.
Pardon me.
I love you, but I still miss Bubu.
Of course, who will miss Bubu? Bubulicious Bubu.
As a Bubu is Bubu, man. She's
still unavoidably absent, but I promise, she'll be joining us very soon. Yes, so
weekend then.
Weekend.
You know how I am now, roller coaster life. So this, that. So as usual, the weekend was very busy. It was basically church activity.
Nothing special.
And I tried to cook.
You tried?
Yes, PHCN has been doing a lot of James Bond, you know. Light off now for 2 days, 3 days. Wow. Inverter goes off, Jenny's.
I try not to think about that.
You know, it's been a lot of work trying to keep the home front.
Yeah, right?
Feels good saying that. But then, yeah, I'm still tired though.
I know, right? I know. And now it's Monday again. The hustle, the bustle continues. Lagos and, you know. Yeah. Well, you know what I've come to realize? My Saturdays these days is like a Friday or any one of the other.
As in, like, there's no Monday, there's no every day is every day, man.
I try to maintain Sunday as Sunday.
Yeah, I wish.
But these days, my Saturday was a Friday. And my Sunday was Sunday this time around. So I think we're still pretty much on track.
Thank God for life in the end. Like,
of course, yes.
Having said and done everything. Just thank God for life. We're still alive. We're here to make your Inside Eve moment rock. Right.
As much as possible.
Yes, so.
Yesterday was International Women's Day, Yay. 8th of March. Yeah, it's a day set aside worldwide to celebrate women around the world, women, their achievements. And even if it started in 1911, since 1911...
I think then I was in Yugoslavia or something.
Yeah, right.
What?
Like, people are still craving for equality of the rights of women till date, you know. And different organizations and bodies around the world, they have their own different themes for Women's Day. Apparently, some women were locked up in China.
I heard so. Like, seriously, this thing is like overdue. Nobody should be fighting this thing anymore. It's gender equality. Let it be. Maybe when we have the first female American president.
Yeah.
The first female POTUS, then everybody is going to just chill and be like, finally, you know. But then really, I think every woman deserves to be celebrated.
Of course.
It's
every
really...
woman.
Every woman.
There's really no difference. There's really no difference. It's just in... Anyway.
Every woman needs to be celebrated. Every woman needs to be respected. Every woman needs to be given her own honor, whatever is due her.
Whether she's a top management person or she's a cleaner in an organization, she's a woman. Yeah. And for the fact that, you know, even if it's only the fact that she bears a child, she carries somebody
that's a lot of work.
9 months, that in itself is a lot of work. She raises the kids, takes care of the home. That's a lot of work on its own. We know how to multitask.
It's a natural something. It's ability.
I know, right?
Abinibi, sorry, not ability. I got it twisted. I'll explain that to you later. Anyway, I think on the breakfast show this morning, the guest was talking about her challenges in the industry, how she Lala Kindoju. Yeah. You know, and there was something interesting that she said. For her, she's a trained professional. She is not a trained woman. Actress.
Even in the media, there's no Even in the media, there's no disparity. It's gentlemen of the press.
I mean, check out my ED. No contest. Like, that's a woman. And she's doing nice things.
I'm telling you, making things happen.
Anyways, so speaking about women, there's a lady that managed to come out of her shell, managed to come out of her dark moments. She was into pornography. A Nigerian woman. She was able to get out of the pornographic cupboard, you know. It looks to me like a whole. Everybody claims to be like Saint Derin, Saint Fome. I don't watch porn, but these things are selling. And whether you don't watch
billions of dollars,
whether you actually watch porn outrightly or you do not, it's there on the billboards, it's there on TV. Someone wants to sell a tab like this, and they put a half-naked woman and hello, correlation. Anyway, speaking of, so this interesting Nigerian lady, she's just 22. She had pornographic addiction. I think first time she stumbled on it was at the age of 14.
That's young.
No restriction on the internet. Let's face this reality, parents. Anyway, at 16, she got addicted. So between 16 and 18, she really, really had issues with it. And she would find herself watching it, locking herself up in her room every time, watching it every morning, afternoon. Her name is Ohosa. I'm sorry, Benin people. Benin people, I'm really sorry. You know, I always run away from all those VB names. Thank you very much, darling. You're always good with those names,
well, I grew up in Benin, so I just tried to...
okay. You know, so Ohosa was able to... Ohosa, right? Ohosa. She was able to, like, overcome the addiction. Very, 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 very happy for her. And then she didn't just overcome the addiction. She decided to take a step further and help people out, you know. So she did a video. That's a lot to put your face. I'd rather just do an audio CD.
It amazes me because I haven't seen anybody that's actually come out openly to say,
I used to watch porn.
I used to watch porn, you know, or I'm addicted to it. We live in a society where people don't talk about
these things.
Like,
how dare you?
No,
it's a taboo. You know, but I give it to her. She was able to come out, do a video with her face. She did not block, you know those things they do on TV, they block face. And, you know, she did not blur anything. She came out, and then she's been able to influence people. You know, so many people, she thought she was alone. And the next thing is, people are like, hey,
watching the video.
I can relate with it. I think she's had like 800,000 hits on YouTube.
That's a lot.
And then a lot of people have been able to identify with her and say that, yes, I'm also struggling with this and all that. You know, sometimes, I believe we're not living for ourselves alone.
Of course, definitely.
So, a lot of your struggles, sometimes, when you overcome them, you should be able to share. I mean, when you get to that point, yes, there's someone out there that needs to learn a thing or two. So don't hide it under your cloth and be stingy with this thing. Share the testimony.
That goes a long way to show you that people are living with this thing. Many people are entrapped in it. They don't know how to come out. And I'm not sure if there's any form of like counseling or therapy for people that are stuck in stuff like that here.
Well, I'm sure there's someone that will tell us that very soon.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that actually. But yeah, great job, Ogosa.
Nice one. And she's just 22.
She's really young.
She's a graduate of law already. As that girl is super smart, man.
Wow.
And the devil wanted to steal her heart and was locking her up. And she'd be
in a dark room.
Doing
and
self-service.
Like, how many times
it's called self-service, please. You should be doing self-service 4 to 6 times a day. What? I'm happy for her that she was able to jack herself out of the hands of the enemy.
Yeah, and then she mentioned that the whole thing reduced her to, you know, she'd see a lady and taking off her clothes, and people were just like sex images, like sex objects rather, you know, so maybe
world of pornography.
If you're hooked on that stuff,
remember all those pop-ups on Yahoo Mail, then trying to browse and then it's just popping up and telling you to come and buy something that they're not selling. And you click and you find some girls waiting.
I'm telling you,
I'm 16.
All over.
My name is Doreen.
It's all
you can
over.
call me.
And there's no form of censorship at all.
Oh, and then they say, there's age restrictions here and there. But then, do I have to flash my birth certificate? No. All I have to say is I was born
tick a box.
1980 something. Really. So I could be born 2001 and then I would write 1952 and you give me free access. Oh, wow. Anyway, it's a crazy world out there. We could talk all day about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's for that.
Enough gist.
Seriously, enough gist for now. We're going to the main issue of the day. Quite related to this last story right here. Well, social media again. I know we're all about social media last week.
You have to connect with us.
You have to connect with us on social
media.
media. Yes, our Twitter handle is @R2_TV. If you haven't started following us, you should, because you learn a lot from, from our shows, Inside Eve Inclusive, of course. And then please like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/myr2tv. Don't forget you can stream live via our Facebook page. Yes, that's really amazing. We're good like that.
It's magic.
And then our app is still blazing. With the app, you get like seamless transmission. Anywhere you are, you can watch TV. Yeah, for me, that's TV everywhere, for real. Yeah. Simply go to whatever store. If you're using a BlackBerry, an Android phone, a Windows phone, go to the various stores and search for R2TV. Download and enjoy seamless transmission.
In the bus.
Exactly, but no while driving. Oh, that's nice. Keeping you entertained while you
do your business.
While you do your business. Well, it's allowed. And then the numbers to call tonight are, as always, 08091222283, 08091222284.
And 08091222285, 08091222286.
Yeah, you get it. It's going to scroll on your screen as well in case you missed out that bit. And yeah, guess what? It's always fun to have someone nice on our set. I'm always excited when we have a guest. So when we come back from this quick break, we're going to be introducing our guest to you. And also, okay, let me just give you a sneak peek into the topic for tonight. Yeah, couples and sex. Couples who struggle with sex. And also couples who use... And also couples who use porn as, as a way to spice up their sex lives. What's your opinion on that? All that and more right after the break.
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. love music? What kind of music do you like? R&B, classical, rap, rock, soul. Don't forget Niger Brothers, because we got it from Niger Jam. Yep. We got it all here on RTTV. So if you like you some music, join us.
You can now watch R2TV online at royalrootstv.com and on your smartphones by downloading the R2TV app for Android, BlackBerry, apps for iOS devices and Windows Mobile from the respective app stores. R2TV, entertainment at its best, entertainment everywhere.
Yeah. 24 hours of total inspiring viewing experience.
We are
R2TV. Yeah. R2TV.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, where have you been?
Sitting on a tree.
Where have you been?
Sitting on a tree.
Anyway, if you're just joining us, welcome to the show, Inside Eve. We've been expecting you. Okay, right now we have a guest in the studio. I'll quickly go through his bio. Okay. Listen very carefully. Dr. Gbenga Kuponiyi, pardon me, is a public health specialist, senior registrar at the Department of Community Medicine, Olabisi, Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, and principal partner at Metamorphosis Kontinua Limited, a health-based organization that undertakes various health projects from recruiting, training, and equipping healthcare professionals to consulting for various organizations, NGOs, religious bodies, governments, the list goes on. The company has been involved in various forms of environmental and social impact assessments within and outside the country. That's not all. I just stopped to catch my breath. And then it goes on. Dr. Kuponiyi has a unique teaching style that has endeared him to audiences around the different platforms and countries where he has either spoken at conferences, seminars, institutions, or workshops. He's a public health crusader who sincerely believes that prevention is easier, cheaper, and by far better than cure. I agree with him. He's also a playwright, an actor, a director, a singer. He has started and mentored 10 choirs, starting with Amazing Redemption Voices, that was acclaimed the best choir in the University of Lagos, and Lagos University Teaching Hospital in the early 90s. Okay, I'm stopping again to catch my breath, because that's not all still.
As a total package, man.
He has been a music director of C4, which is a Covenant Christian Center choir, and director of Snapshots, the drama unit. He has written over 25 plays for both stage and screen, and most were either directed or produced by him. He's an associate pastor at Covenant Christian Center under Pastor Podri Oyemade. He's married to Oyemi, his sweetheart, and personal physician to him and the kids.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
That's a lot. Oh,
Wow. As in, like,
that's a lot of stuff. How do you?
It's like 5 people sitting right here in the room of us.
No, just one person.
No, it's
That's
like 5
so
of you, so
much.
I beg to.
Just one person.
I think he likes to be called Dr. B.
He likes to be called. I forgot to mention
That's
that.
my nickname.
Dr.
Dr.
B.
B.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Derin. I hope I'm safe.
We hope that we are safe.
Well,
Like,
I'm telling you, like,
it's
a lot. Even reading it, I got pretty like, I was like, okay, when is this going to end?
It's a pleasure.
Your
It's a pleasure to be in between the women.
The women
Inside
inside
Eve.
you.
That
First-
must be Adam.
sorry, I just want to ask a quick one. Right now, are you the actor, playwright, or the
Exactly.
pastor, or the community health person,
Tell us.
or
I'm just Gbenga Kuponiyi now.
Okay.
I'm just Dr. B now.
But you're going to be teaching us a lot, I'm sure, from your expertise,
Yeah, of course.
wealth of knowledge.
Okay.
I can't actually wait to learn from you.
Okay, now you're going to make me cry.
Oh no, not at all.
Tissue, please.
Not at all. Well, today we're actually dealing with, couples, especially young couples that get married as virgins, and they probably have like issues with the guy penetrating the lady when they want to have sex, simply because she has a tight vagina and maybe the guy is really well endowed. That could cause a bit of frustration for both of them.
Well, we say size is not a problem.
Really?
It's never a
I've
problem.
heard
Even
people
A3
complain
battery,
bitterly.
this remote control batteries.
Size is not a problem.
Okay.
Size is not a problem.
Right.
Yes, with young couples, yes, you can have problems with sexual intimacy in the initial stages just because they are, quote unquote, unlearned
Okay.
in the acts
Unlearned.
yet,
Unlearned.
and especially from the man's point of view.
Okay.
Because, well, you can't blame the woman. Many people have told her it's painful, it's horrible, you're going to cry and weep. So she has some form of vaginismus, which means that the contraction of the vaginal muscles.
Oh, so it actually contracts
Yes, it contracts.
out of that
Yes,
anxiety
out of
and...
panic. The word is anxiety.
wow.
It actually contracts together. That's actually what the problem is. The contraction
That's
is there.
interesting.
So, and she's contracted already even before you start anything.
Oh, okay.
She's
So it's a
scared.
mind thing.
She's scared, especially of the... Everybody asks you, how was the first night? How was the first night? So I call it the first night
that's
fever.
interesting.
You know,
First night fever.
which is totally unnecessary and unneeded. You don't have to have sex on the first night in order to even lay affairs.
But it's like customary.
If you tell someone, oh, I got married as a virgin, he didn't touch me first night, are you sure he can do? You know, that's going to
Because
be the...
personally, I had an experience with a friend. We went to university together.
Okay.
She was so scared and she used to shake. She wasn't married. But when she realized she had that fear, she wanted to do everything possible to lose her virginity before she got married, because she didn't want it to be a problem by the time she got married.
And there are people who say that the more wisdom and the more experience you've had, the better it is. It's really not true.
Oh, okay.
It's not
You
true.
heard...
It's not true from medical point
It's not true, but
Not true.
youthful exuberance,
Look,
youngsters
there are people
these
who've had
days-
sex at the age of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yes.
Way before they got married. You should ask them what happened. They weren't thinking of having sex. They were thinking of having fun. And that's the problem. Because for young couples, the sex now becomes a job, a duty that must be done. Or else the in-laws are going to come knocking after 9 months. What is going on here? Who has the problem?
You understand that?
Who has the problem? Is she the one or is he the one?
Yeah.
Let's know whose family we should attack now.
You know, I have a friend who said, you know, he said, oh, they were trying to get, his wife was trying to get pregnant, less than a year, and then said, oh, doctor says we must do nothing less than 3 times a week. Now, wow. And I'm like, hey, when pastor
Seems
said
like a
do not
chore.
do before marrying, it was like, hey, this pastor self is dulling us. Now you're married, it's like work, you have to put in work.
I remember a friend who, in fact, not just a friend, a number of people walk into the hospital and they're saying, we can have children. So you're like, okay, so how long have you been married? And they say 9 months, 10 months, 6 months, 7 months. And you really feel like saying, could you please just leave my office?
Just relax.
Because we don't even define
Chill.
infertility until you've had adequate, unprotected sexual intercourse. Adequate. The operational word being adequate, unprotected sexual intercourse for at least 1 year.
Because it's kind of tricky when you actually... I had to learn, you know, the fertile days of a woman and all of that.
The
It's
cycle.
the cycle. Once you miss
Ovulation
those
and all
days, then
that.
that's it. You need to wait till the next month.
But the truth of the matter is that all the 10 years getting pregnant, never knew anything about the cycle. So tell me, how did I get
Stop
pregnant?
thinking about it
Stop
then.
thinking about it.
But is it easy? See, I have, okay, another group of a set of friends. I think like 3 of them got married on the same, 2 of them on Saturday, 1 Thursday, same week. And you know, one of them saw the other one and, okay, let's say Fome, and she's like, Fome, now, wow, your husband is not even, you're not even showing the glory of your husband or something like, why are you so skinny? Why are you not pregnant yet? Because she already had a child. Now, someone like that would probably go home. If she had a medical condition, she'd probably go home and, you know, start thinking. People are not very sensitive these days. They just throw, how far?
You know, we do know that anxiety in itself plays a big role in when it comes to pregnancy issues, you know, with women. You know, but really, back to the main topic, it's usually the fact that somebody, you know, just needs to take things a little bit easier at the beginning. And then again, with young couples, after some time, the hustle and bustle and the busyness of the day gets to them. And so both of them come back and you're like, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I mean, I'm coming from work, she walks in the back, she's been through your wonderful Lagos traffic, and then you're back home at 10, at 11. She knows she's going to be up by 5 a.m. And then somebody wants her to come and play Superwoman in the middle of 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. You know, or the guy has gone through all that in the day, he's been angry, has deadlines to meet, and somebody says, now be sweet and gentle. So the busyness of the day can actually get through, you know, and affect sexual issues. But more importantly, ladies, it's the fact that, especially for you ladies, what causes what you call great sex for a woman is not the sex itself.
You mentioned something about size. We're going to go back to that, especially for the guy, because everybody's, you know, they are always like, in fact, someone called in on our show and said, you need to know if the guy has a carrot
something. I remember that.
Size penis. In the meantime, let's quickly go and see, you know, we went out on the streets just to see people's opinion on this issue of, you know, watching porn to improve on your sex lives. When we watch this Vox Pop, then we'll discuss, go into that in depth.
All right.
Pornography.
Let's take a look.
No. N-O, no.
I don't, married couples, I don't think there's anything they see there that they can't create in there. Yeah, you need to read and study more about sex because you need to always spice your sexual life as a couple. But one thing is certain and sure. Watching porn, one of you, if care is not taken, will get addicted, and that will still, you eventually do the reverse of what you intended. So for me, it's a no-no. You rather sit down, read. When I touch you, what happens to you? When you touch me, this, you know, just what I believe couples need is actually sitting down to discuss their sexuality. It's nothing they should shy away from, because they see me bath naked and they see you bath naked, so waiting remain. You just need to talk about it. Communication is the key for anything, be it sex, be it money, whatever it is in marriage that couples might be experiencing.
Let me reverse the question. Should couples allow other couples to come and watch them make love? If it's a no, then it's a no on the other end. So.
Wow, lovely comments right there. Both guys made a lot of sense. I totally agree with them. The other one said communication is key. And then the last guy, if a couple would allow people to come and watch them.
Like swinger couples that swap.
And the reverse is the case, partners. Which actually, it makes quite a bit of sense. But then communication is like the key word here.
It is.
Because I find couples don't really talk about their sex lives. Maybe the lady feels, if I tell him I don't like it like this, do it like this, I don't know, maybe she'll feel the guy thinks I'm loose, or the guy thinks I'm a freak. But then guys like freaks, don't they? They like a woman who's a lady during the daytime and a freak at night. What's that saying again?
I'm not.
Oh yeah, a prostitute at night, slut at night, or something.
Yeah,
your
something
wife
like
during
that.
the day. There's this funny thing.
Well, the truth of the matter is that really, ladies, it's communication. And there's a over time. My wife and I have learned this. If people come to you and they're sitting in front of you, and then there's a guy and the lady, and then they've come to you, there's a problem, and then they start talking, and then the guy says every single thing, then you can't understand what I said. So you turn to the lady and she says every single thing, then you can't understand what she said. And then you turn to the guy, says everything, and then he says more, you can't understand. And so we go, excuse me. Yeah. is it sex? It's sex, right? That's why they couldn't say anything. So once couples are talking and they are fighting and they can't tell you what the fight is, and you can't understand what the fight is, and they can't come out and say what the fight is, it is sex.
Oh, that's the final bus stop.
Gap? Why is that gap there?
Our society doesn't teach us about sex except what we learn from friends, from YouTube, from the media. Hardly do you have parents who sit their children down, you know, and sometimes even counselors shy away, you know, from sex, apart from saying don't have sex. So you have people who are in a world where they're going to keep discovering things. And there's a part of discovery that is good. There's a part, and because really that part shouldn't be taken away because it makes you want to find out. You know, because yes, the discovery, but couples should get to the point where they are intimate enough, and that's why we are saying, look, sex is just an act, and it can be had with quote unquote anybody.
It's an important act.
Yes, but when it's going to be with somebody, when you say we're a couple, you are saying our life revolve more than around things that are much bigger in structure than sex, and which means there's a call for intimacy. Yeah. And what really drives good sex is not sex in itself, of course, but the things that have happened all day before that point. You know, the little touches, the little, I'm just calling to say,
little one that size does not matter. It's bigger. I think it's bigger than the whole thing that people think about. But then what do you think about couples sitting down to say, okay, baby, we've not been able to get to that point. Let's watch this expert on TV. Let's slot in this CD and just watch once. So just watch it once and learn one or two things, you know.
Please hold that thought for a while. Sorry to cut you short, but we have a caller, Sammy from Ikeja. Good evening, Sammy.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, how are you ladies doing?
We're doing very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. Interesting topic, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Say hello to Dr. B.
Exactly.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you too?
I'm good.
Okay, great. I want to contribute to today's topic.
Okay.
I think it goes two ways. Is it okay for a couple to watch pornography to increase their sexual drive in their relationship? I'll say yes and no. Okay. Yes, if they're trying to try something new. No, if it's for the fun of it. I mean, it depends. I don't think conversations should go after that. Okay. You get what I mean?
Yes, kind of.
I mean, like, for instance, now, the couple should be able to talk about their sexual challenges rather than hiding behind pornography to, you know, to solve whatever their problems are.
Okay.
Okay. So, Sammy, you mentioned that if they are trying out something new, they could, you know, watch pornography. But what if one of them gets hooked on it? Like, you know, one of our one person commented on the Vox Pop. What if one of the partners gets hooked on it and gets really addicted?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a yes and no. It has to be both ways. Both of the couples have to be in agreement. One. Or
it's addiction we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very possible for one of, you know, the partners to get addicted to this because they've not treated it, I mean, by talking about it first.
Okay. Okay, so they should talk about it, agree, and then watch it and then leave it.
Yeah, they should be able to, if they're married, they should talk about anything.
Okay, but
and if they feel that's going to spice up their marriage, yes.
But then I think what Fome was asking was, after watching it that first time, and daddy goes to the office, and mommy is alone in the afternoon, and that voice comes and says, watch it again so that you can show that this special skill when he lands at night. And then 5 months down the line, she's trying not to watch it, but she's still watching it.
First. I don't think there's anything they do in any pornography that is real.
You watch a lot of porn?
I mean, every young man at a particular point in his life
has watched
been curious enough to watch it. I mean, so, but then I don't think it's real and it wouldn't solve any couple's problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, anyway.
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you so much for calling, Sammy.
You're welcome.
Keep watching so you can learn a lot from Dr. B.
All right, good night.
Don't watch
Good night. Leave him, Joe. We have another caller, Lanre from Ogba. Hello, Lanre.
Hello.
Yes, hello. How are you?
Good evening.
Yes, I'm fine.
Very well. You know the topic. What's your contribution to the topic this evening?
Yes, Dr. Gbenga.
Yes.
Hi, Larry.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I think my contribution will be that couples should not actually engage in watching pornography.
At all.
Why?
Yes, and the reason is just because couples should get to a point where they have a good understanding between love making and sex. Because the moment couples learn to differentiate the two of them, I guess they won't really actually engage in watching pornography. Like what Dr. Gbenga is actually saying there, that it actually starts from the morning.
It's actually
what? Can't actually understand. It actually starts from the morning.
Okay.
The little thank you, the little, I just called to say hello, just a little text message, a little candies here and there for the wife. That's actually love making, the understanding for the woman aspect.
Yeah.
So sex naturally will be easier for the guy when he comes home in the evening. So that automatically will not allow him to actually dabble into watching anything at all to spice the marriage.
Okay. Sorry, Larry, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I've heard some of my male friends say that sometimes they don't want love making. Sometimes they want sex, like wild sex. They just want to fulfill some of their fantasies. Is it okay to watch it with your wife and say, baby, come and learn this thing, so that when I want to be that wild horse, you be the woman, instead of me going to the junction and all those Sanusi stuff?
That's a good one. I think I need to be sincere because I've been married close to 7 years now.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And I think I married someone who doesn't really understand all the wow, that's your language, your wow.
It's not my language.
But I now notice that the best way she can actually understand is when you're actually teaching the person. You're doing it and she learns to communicate to you. You understand? You can like, do you like this style? You guys can invent so many styles. Forget all the 27 steps, all this particular style. There's style everywhere in the marriage setting, and you guys can invent it. It's just like, don't you like bedroom? Don't you like this other side? So before you get started moving around, you get your style.
Okay. I have another question for you. For guys that are not experienced, where will they learn all these styles and all these different things from?
For who, please? I didn't get
For the guys that are not very well experienced, where are they going to learn all these different styles and all these different locations from?
Locations.
Yes.
No, I think that's the reason why we actually, like in a marriage setting, God has made everything to one that is perfect is going to make the other that is imperfect. The two of you cannot be absolutely inexperienced. One of you, that is how God has made it. One of you has to be good.
Really?
And so the other one can just teach.
I'm hearing it out for the first time.
Communication.
Communication.
Okay.
Is key.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much. Dr. We have a very wonderful night.
Thank you.
I think that's one of your fans.
This person is really.
So that question
familiar.
I just asked now, that if the guy is not experienced, he doesn't know. He doesn't. What you don't have,
And
you
the
can't
girl too doesn't
give.
know.
And the lady doesn't know. Where would they get this?
We need to get something, and that is this. Sometimes saying, I mean, all our parents got us, our grandparents got us, and because many of them have never seen pornography before in their lives, and they were happily married.
That's true.
So we shouldn't make it look as if you take away pornography from the world, people are not going to enjoy sex. That's not true, because they've been doing before it ever came on the scene. And again, don't ever forget there's always what is called a learning process about something. And hidden behind the marriage vows is the discovery of that. That's what actually makes it fun.
Well, that's what makes it fun.
If you take away all that, you know, and then when you weigh, okay, sometimes something might be good, but then the disadvantages that come from it end up outweighing whatever good that you think you're going to get out of it. And then you now have to become responsible in saying, okay, all right, I can eat as much sugar as I want and then eat it, and as an adult, nobody will stop me. But the disadvantages that will come from doing that to my body 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line people will look at me and be like, how could you have been that irresponsible in just eating raw sugar, even though there's nothing wrong in eating raw sugar, you know, and it's nice, it tastes nice when it comes to your mouth. So you're going to have to weigh things, you know, and be responsible about it.
You know what, frankly speaking, I used to think it's okay for a couple if they desperately need help, like they need to spruce up their love life, so they can watch porn once in a while, but not make a habit out of it. Until I read all the disadvantages that could come with it. But how many people actually know all these disadvantages? How many people know that if I go to this resource, I can get hooked, I can get addicted, and all the other physiological and psychological effects that go with, you know, pornography? That's
why we're on Inside Eve, to make sure that
I think Sammy called. Sorry to interrupt you. We have Sammy calling.
Hello.
Hi, Sammy.
Hello, this is another Sammy from Ikeja.
Oh, sorry,
Sammy.
Sorry, another Sammy.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Look, I think this is the Sammy that calls regularly.
I think so. Sorry to interrupt you.
Hi, regular Sammy.
How you doing there?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. Dr. Gbenga, you were talking along a line of thought the other time, and I would like you to continue that line of thought.
Okay.
You said something about, you said what is a great sex to a man is not necessarily a great sex to a woman. Please, can you continue along that line of thought?
You said what is great sex to a man is not necessarily great sex
to a woman, and that you should continue along that line of thought. Yes, please.
All right. You know the way women are, and you know the way men are. Okay, let me quickly do the basics. Men and women are different. We think differently. We say the same thing but mean different things. I mean, if a lady tells you, I have nothing new to wear, or if a lady says, I have nothing to wear, you are looking at the wardrobe, is busting at the seams, everything. So she's telling you, I have nothing new to wear. If a guy tells you, I have nothing to wear, he's telling you, I have nothing clean to wear. They say the same thing, but they mean different things. Okay, because love and sex to a woman is intermingled. A guy can have sex and it's gone. You know, because many times an activity. But for a woman, it's the whole of her being, it's the whole of her emotions, it's the whole of herself she's pouring into that. So she just doesn't want a crash bang and let's go. Okay, she wants look, afterwards, stay with me, talk with me, hold me in your hands, cuddle me, sleep with me. She wants intimacy. And a man may not understand that initially and feel, okay, we've had sex. What else do you want? I mean, it's over.
I've given you my everything.
You know, let's go. Can we do something else? Because we've accomplished this thing. So, and then, you know, it's not that it's 1 + 1 that is making 2 in marriage, or it's not that it's 1 + 1 that is making 1, because 1 + 1 is not 1, 1 + 1 is 2. The real deal is 1 × 1. So 1 × 1, there's 1. Okay? And the only way you can have great sexual satisfaction is when each partner decides that my job is to satisfy the other.
And not be selfish about it.
Which means the man says, all right, I'm satisfied when she's satisfied. And the lady says, I'm really satisfied when she's satisfied. If they can play that game, then everybody wins.
So in that case, it means that they have to go down to the basics.
They are going to have to be able to sit down and speak.
Bottom line is
what will make communication. You happy, what will make
if you say you're a couple,
communication.
For goodness sake, talk. Because if you don't talk to each other, somebody's going to talk to the boy or talk to the girls. And the boys and the girls always have their own ways.
All right, we have another caller.
Hello, Timothy.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for calling in.
Good evening.
Yes, please, what's your contribution?
Job well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say it's not proper for couples to watch pornography.
Why not?
Like you do.
Now, apart from being addicted, apart from being adamant and being addicted to it, then it can also backfire on the children.
Oh, how?
How? Yeah, exactly.
Now, if after the dad and the mom watch the porn and keep up the tape, the kids might have access to it and jeopardize their life.
Really?
But, okay, the kids might have access to it later.
Jeopardize their
I
life.
see. That's what he said.
You will keep it very well.
Timothy,
what if they can keep it very? Sorry, what if they can keep it very well? Is that okay for? Is it okay for them to watch?
Timothy,
well
please hold on. I need you to reduce the volume of your TV set.
Sorry.
Hello, Timothy.
Yeah.
Are you there?
I'm with you.
Yes,
I'm
please
with you,
reduce
I'm
the
with you.
volume of your TV set, or kindly step away from your device a bit.
I was asking you, how well can you keep things away from your kids?
Yes.
Well, okay. Doctor said you might not be able to keep it.
Hello?
Yes,
okay, keep talking, sorry.
Now, you know, kids of nowadays are so inquisitive and they want to know it all. So you might think you hide it properly from them and somehow, sometimes, it might leak out.
Okay. I have a suggestion, Timothy.
Okay.
These DVDs are quite cheap. So you break after every time you watch. You watch and
Burn
break.
after reading.
Every time you watch,
you break, then you buy another one under the bridge.
Whenever you need again, you buy another one.
Yes.
And the broken pieces.
They won't arrange the broken pieces.
But they can see what it's all about.
They can see what's on it.
You made a contribution
to the porn industry.
Keep contributing. So then you have to the porn.
Yeah, the porn industry is also contributing to the wellness of your sex. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you for calling.
Understand.
All right.
Thanks
you
for
very
calling.
much,
Keep
Timothy.
watching. Keep
You're
calling.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you. He's raised the important points. How do you keep these things away from kids? The internet is there. It's like,
really,
it's
you
fast.
can't. But kids basically become mom and dad.
Okay,
it's just
what
a question
they
of
see.
time. Yes, they will become mom and dad. So you know that you're doing, that's why the word is responsibility, that whatever I'm doing, it goes beyond me. Because what I say is not important, what I do is what's really important. And at the end of the day, the guy is going to be a chip of the old block. And if the old block is a blockhead, then it's just bad.
So there was something, there was something you said about, like, we're acting as if you take pornography away from the world, the whole thing card is going to come crumbling down. I beg to differ. In the days of our grandmothers and grandfathers, the picture I have in my head is it was probably just missionary. For procreation's sake, come back from the farm, do what you got to do, fufu with swallow
one of our
and it goes
comments
down.
on Facebook actually said that, and I responded that it didn't mean they didn't have problems. They had problems, but then they knew how to endure, especially our mothers back then. They knew how to endure just so that, you know, for the sake of the marriage, for the sake of the kids. And back then, too, women didn't really have a say as far as such issues were concerned. They didn't really have, it was lie down,
you know,
do and then that's it.
And then, sorry, sir, finally, I think now, sex is in your face. You're watching a regular movie that is not supposed to be porn, and it's in your face that they're doing a lot of things. So people have more exposure, and they have a lot of fantasies now. They didn't have fantasies. They didn't have anything to worry about. You have fantasies. A girl is out there ready to give it to your husband. You should learn it.
Please, sorry to cut you short, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. We have a call. Victoria from Abuja. Hello, Victoria.
Finally, a woman.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you? Could you please, Victoria, can you hear me? Kindly reduce the volume of your TV set.
Hello?
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, please, I'm calling from what the last caller said.
Okay.
Okay.
About the children kind of watching and learning from it. I think that the pornographic of a thing is like a couple who got married and they feel they want to develop their sexual abilities.
Okay.
So if they finish watching and like they're cool with it and they're done, they have children, what is the need of having to sit with them?
So they should break it, yeah?
That's the thing. They get hooked on it. They probably get hooked on it.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is they should use it maybe just one time and then move on.
Hello, Victoria.
Oh, sugar.
No. Okay, what I'm saying is that, okay, if you use it You made children, and you're like good with it. You're like, you've learned what you want to learn from pornographic. You already have a kid, 2 kids with you. Why are you still with the video?
Because they need to keep up topping the bar. They need to keep raising.
Every time you forget, you go back to the textbook.
But their new styles every day. Things change. You know, they need to update their... Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Nice show, though.
Okay, thank you very much, Victoria.
Thank you so much,
do you
Victoria.
think it's okay to watch it, though?
Exactly.
Actually, I'm a teen. I just commented on what you guys are saying.
Yeah, what?
Did she say saint?
I'm a teen, not a couple.
Beg.
What did she say?
I beg. Anyway, I got your answer from the first thing you said. It's okay to watch. Just dispose of the
Thanks
CD.
for calling. Please keep watching.
All right, thanks.
Keep calling.
Okay. Just before we go to social media, I think I'd like for him to answer that. Like, it's in your face. You want to be able to prove to your husband that, yes, these things that you're watching in music videos are capable.
But you yourself know that the husband that you lose to that
was no husband at all.
In the first place.
Madam.
Because, look, it's not going to go away.
So the best thing is not going to even indulge in the first place.
I mean, and you're not going to be able to totally shut down the television.
True that.
You know. So it's going to be a lot of responsibility on male and female. Because it's just beyond husband. It's also it's on both sides of the coin.
True.
You know, it's going to be in your face. The average music video, you know what it is like nowadays. The average film, because sex sells. That's the problem. It's become an act that doesn't mean anything to us anymore.
Shamefully so.
You know, it's become an act that doesn't mean anything to us anymore.
It's just an act now.
Just
no emotions involved.
It's just an act. It's just an, I mean, it could, that's why we can all have sex with anybody, because it's just an act. I don't have to know you, love you, care for you. It's just an act. Let's do it and go. Wow. Because as naive as our parents were, like I said, in all their styles and whatever, they were sticking to one person.
True that. Wow.
They had less knowledge, but they're better equipped for it.
Knowledge is power, but it's a problem.
What's the solution for someone who's hooked on porn and wants to get out, desperately wants to get out? What kind of help can we get locally?
There are quite a number of organizations that can help, you know. There's a friend of mine, you know, I mean, for the risk of being told I'm advertising for her, Dr. Misoshodi, who runs, she's a psychiatrist and runs an organization called MIND, M-I-N-D.
Mind.
That's where it all begins anyway.
And that's why we say that your greatest sexual organ is your brain. It's not the other parts. Your greatest sexual organ is actually your brain, because every single thing starts in the brain. Wow. If you wipe out your brain, you don't want to do sex. You know? So
all right, well,
you know, she runs MIND, and you know, they really can help with people, because the truth of the matter is that we've had a number of patients that have been aggressively hooked on sex. They're looking at you, they're undressing you, they're
aggressively hooked.
No, they're really aggressively hooked on pornography and, you know, and on sexual things, and it really can get from one point to another. Because if that person gets married, and a particular case I remember now, I mean, he got married, and he, as far as he was concerned, there was something wrong with the girl because she couldn't do what was in porn. And porn is not, it's make-believe, it's not real. You're not on the drugs that those guys are taking, you're not on the steroids that they are taking. Nobody has perfect bodies like they do. You haven't chiseled, you know, all the breasts.
Nobody has sex
all the silicone,
like
and nobody has,
like you said earlier.
2 hours of sex. Nobody does that. You know, it's not realistic.
Well, I think that just hits the nail right on the head. Like, it's make-believe. So watching it for the purpose of trying to enhance your sex life, you just run down. I think there's something, someone said, everything is wrong. Okay, Oche Solomon Odagboy on our Facebook page. Everything is wrong about it. Just like my brother said, our parents did not watch pornographic movies, yet they have had no issues. If they can cope, we too can cope. Now, what happens when it becomes part and parcel of you? That's, I think, basically, that's the danger. The pornography itself, has issues. Watching it has issues. So there's no point moving close for whatever purpose. Purpose.
Well, unfortunately, we have to go. It's that time again where we have to say goodbye. I still have so many questions to ask you. I think I'll just drop the questions on your Facebook page.
Right.
And please, if you were trying to call and you couldn't get through, simply go to our Facebook page and drop your comments. If you have questions, go right there, drop them. We'll respond as soon as we can. On my final thoughts, as men and women, of course, we must be focused on sexual purity, not allowing any of our sexual energy to be wasted by anyone but our wives, and in return, our husbands as well. It's a two-way thing. I'm not going to say it's only for the men. No, it's men and women are both responsible. Capture that sexual energy and use it only on one person. Don't waste your time and your energy going to try out those things in porn. You just might get an accident, one of those
more complicated.
And complicate everything. Of course.
All right, my final thoughts. Sex and obscenity are not synonymous. Get it? Obscene materials are materials that deal with sex in a manner that is appealing to prurient interest only. Prurient, I think, means absurd things, obscene things, things that are like negative, lustful, and all that. So really, sex and obscenity, like, they are two different things. I think we should even call it lovemaking. Lovemaking is the key word here. Is what we should do. Quickly, I think we have Dr. Gbenga's Facebook name is Gbenga Kuponiyi. I'm sure they can send in questions to you. And follow him on Twitter at Gbenga Kuponiyi. It's GBENGAKUPONIYI. Woo! Did I?
Yes, you did.
All right, so please, okay.
Please kindly say your final words or your final thoughts to our viewers.
Yes. Well, like we've learned, I think it's more important for us to see that it's give and give, and everybody can win if the ultimate desire within us is to give and give rather than take and take. If your wife's happy, she'll do anything for you.
Of course.
If your husband's happy,
he'll
do all for you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks to
I didn't
all
want you
our
after
callers.
Yeah, we didn't bite.
Thanks to all our callers, all those who have participated in tonight's show. We really appreciate you. Until Wednesday, yes, at 8 p.m. when we give you another dose of Inside Eve. We have to say goodbye for now. I'm Fome and...
I'm Derin Sola.
And Dr. B. It's goodbye.
Goodbye. Continue on social media.
Yeah, right.